Hi everyone, it's DA in the Delish Kitchen Studios. I'm going to show you how to make my version of the classic breakfast Huevos Rancheros. It's often thought that Huevos Rancheros originated in the Mexican countryside on farms. The classic version consists of 3 elements: a crispy tortilla, eggs, and a salsa. Lastly, we are going to be making some refried beans, which I've included in my version. It's another common addition. Let's get into the salsa. To the pan, we're going to add some oil and our chopped white onion, along with a little bit of salt. We are going to cook this down until it is translucent or sweet to the taste, and that should take about 7 minutes. If at any point the onions start to burn before they are tender, you can always add just a little bit of water to the pan, and that will, number 1, stop them from burning, but number 2, the steam from that water as it evaporates will also help the onions cook faster. The onions are translucent. A couple of them are a little dark. That's okay. Again, we're kind of gonna be going for some like roasty flavor. A little bit of char on those onions won't specifically hurt. I'm gonna add now jalapeno. Got a whole one that has been seeded, and a little bit of garlic. We're just gonna cook these until they are fragrant. We just kind of want to bloom the flavor into the pan. We're gonna go with our tomatoes and some water. Now we're gonna bring this to a simmer and just let it cook down. And this is gonna take 8 to 10 minutes. You may be wondering why I'm not using fresh tomatoes and roasting them. A lot of Huevos Rancheros recipes call for that. To put it simply, the fresh tomatoes that I had when I was developing this recipe were not great because they weren't in season. And then I realized, oh, that's most of the year. So I decided to use fire roasted canned tomatoes, which bring the smoke and also have the best tomato flavor because they have been prepared at the time of the year when they are at their peak of ripeness. We are gonna just keep cooking this down, smashing on those chunks until they're really nice and soft. So at this point, we're cooked down, but the salsa isn't as smooth as we want it to be. So we're gonna blend it into the food processor. I'm just gonna spoon the salsa. This is hot, so just be mindful, and you don't want it pulverized completely smooth. We're about at the texture that we want. And so now we're gonna add our freshly squeezed lime juice and just blitz it a little bit more. I like to add the lime juice later as opposed to before because I want the fresh, acidic lime punch to be as fully present as possible. Little salt. It's so important to taste your food as you go, by the way. We are actually gonna bake our tortillas today instead of frying them. When I was developing this recipe, I found that baking yielded crispy, amazing results with less mess and less fuss. I have here some yellow corn tortillas, and I'm just gonna brush either side of them with vegetable oil. These are going to bake at 400 for 4 minutes on each side until they're crispy and golden. So of all the components of Huevos Rancheros, beans is the one you need to fuss about the least, all right? We are gonna go straight canned beans with a little water added to make them nice and fluffy as we heat them up. This is actually a trick that I learned from my father, circa 1998. He knew what he was talking about. We're heating them on medium just until they're warm through and start to bubble, nice and creamy and fluffy. I think they're good to go. Eggs for Huevos Rancheros are typically fried. We're just gonna start by cracking the egg into the bowl. I like to crack my eggs into bowls instead of directly into the pan. This will ensure that the shell doesn't go into the pan. We're gonna turn our heat on medium. Add just a little bit of oil. We're just gonna tip the egg into the pan. Baby the egg gently, gently. So if you wanna make these for a crowd, you can cook multiple eggs in a larger nonstick pan all at the same time. They won't be as shapely as this one, but you can definitely do that for speed and convenience. I'm just gonna season with a little bit of salt and get this out of the skillet, and it's time to assemble. So to assemble our Huevos Rancheros, we're gonna start with the tortilla. And we're gonna add just a little bit of the refried beans. Then on with our egg and our amazing salsa. You You can add avocado if you want, you don't have to. I love it. Just some crumbled cotija cheese and some fresh cilantro. One of my favorite ways to eat this is to take a little bit of the tortilla and just dip it in the yolk. Just like that. So good. If you've never tried Huevos Rancheros before, I encourage you to give it a try. It's gonna really shake up your breakfast routine. For this and other breakfast and brunch favorites, stick around on delish.com.